Hello friend, welcome to the live study channel. Today I am going to discuss RDBMS interview question and answer for fresher and experienced both, but mostly best suitable for interview only experienced person, right? So just start my first question. Okay. My first question is, what is DBMS and what is the utility? Explain RDBMS with example. So basically there are some standard DBMS, means database management system, and see what the picture. First, it's a database. Database is a student records, employee records. To connect through the DBMS means MySQL, Oracle. Okay, through the then connect to the programming. Means website code, means programming through the like Java, Python, PHP, .NET, Ruby. So many programming available platform in market. So connection between this program to this type of, you can if you want to fetch the data, so through the programming, so you can use the MySQL database or Oracle if you suitable for, right? So basically database management system is a set of applications or programs that enable user to create and maintain a database. Database management system provide a tools, create, right? Provide a tools and interface for performing various operations such as inserting, deleting, updating. It is means you can write select star from table name. If you want table name is a student record, so you can write the query select star from student table name. Then you can fetch the database in the student records. If you want the employee record, the select star from employee. Okay, if you want to add, update, so you can update. Okay, so into a database, it is the software that enable the storage of data more compactly and securely as compared to a file-based system. A DBMS system help a user to overcome problems like data inconsistency, data redundancy, etc. in a database and make it to more convenient and organized to use. So RDBMS with example means, for example of a popular RDBMS system are a file system, XML, window repository. Okay, so RDBMS, what is RDBMS? So but basically RDBMS means relationship database, relational database, not a relationship, is a relational database management system called RDBMS. So just I'm back to the is a history of RDBMS. So RDBMS was introduced in 1917 to access and store data more efficiently than DBMS. So RDBMS means relational database management system store data in the form of table as compared to RDBMS, which store data as a file, storing data as a row and column. Make it easier to locate a specific value in the database and make it more efficient as compared to database. No confusion, right? For example, MySQL, Oracle, right? So a database is organized, consistent and logical collection of data that can easily to be updated, accessed and managed. Data mostly contain set of tables or objects. Anything create using create command is a database object. Means create command means create table name. Okay, if you want to create table name, then add the some attributes, okay, which consist of the record and field. A tuple of row represent a single entity in a table, and attribute or a column represent the basic unit of data storage, which contain column represents which contain information about the particular aspect of the data. RDBMS extracts data from a database in the form of query given by the user. Okay, I think no doubt in this question, right? Okay, so move to another question. This is a RDBMS, DBMS. So next question is explain few advantages of a DBMS. So compare just the previous question. I was compare DBMS and RDBMS, and also difference I will discuss. I have already discussed differences is not a more than, but one difference I have already discussed in previous question, right? So there are some advantages of in the RDBMS. Means you can connect with the APIs, means user, app, database, right? So DBMS means database management system. Basically there are some points, means data sharing, integrity, consistency, controlling redundancy in database, data independence, provide backup and recovery facility, data security. There are some advantage and some features, right? So just explain one by one. I'm explaining one by one. Means data from a single database can be simultaneously shared by the multiple users, such as sharing also enable end user to react to change quickly in the database environment. Another point is integrity consistent, means the existence of such constraint allow storing of data in an organized and refined manner. Controlling means eliminate redundancy in a database by providing a mechanism that integrates all the data in a single database. Dependency means this allows changing the data structure without altering the composition of any of the other executing application program. Backup means and recovery means it can be configured automatically create the backup of the data and restore the data in the database whenever required, right? Security means provide the necessary tools to make the storage and transfer of data more realizable and secure. Authentication trace of the process of the restricted access to a user and encrypting sensitive data such as OTP, credit card information are the more popular tools used to secure the data in a database. I think no confusion, right? So again I am repeating, there are some advantages. Means data sharing, integrity, controlling, independent, backup, recovery, and last one is the security. So move to the another question. Another question is explain difference language present in DBMS. So DDL, DDML, DCL, TCL means data definition language, data manipulation language, data control language, and transaction control language. Okay, so various one by one, and this I am explaining one by one. Okay, so DDL means it contains command with a required to define a database. DDL, you can in a DDL there are some commands, means for example create, alter, drop, truncate, rename belong to the DDL, right? And the manipulating means data manipulation language means contain, select, update, insert, and also delete. But in a data control language means DCL means which contain deal with the user permission control of the data system. Deal with the user control means grant, revoke. In a TCL contain with the required deal with the transaction of the database, means a transaction control language you can call, for example commit, rollback, and save point. Okay, move to the another question. Another question is what is the meant by ACID property in a DBMS? Is a very most important point. I think almost a student know about the AC. You can call AC. Standard for atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability in it, right? So those properties that ensure safe and secure way of sharing data among with the multiple users, right? Means in atomicity means just one by one I am explaining. Atomic means all change to the data must be performed successfully or not all, right? Consistency means data must be in a consistent state before and after the transaction. Isolated means no other process can change the data while the transaction is running. Durability means the change mode by a transaction must be persist. So you can it's a detailing. Suppose there are some example shown on my screen, right? So before transaction means A, B, debit with the 30, before 30, debit 10, available 20. Transfer process is complete means B created with the 100, 10, 100, available balance is 100. Because of 10 rupees transfer, the execution will be automatically executed successfully. First part is clear, right? and value read by 3000 a before this one, and data consistency, right, will be valuable. This is the point. So this property reflects the concept of either executing all the query or executing nothing at all, which imply that if an update occurs in a database, then that update should either be reflected in the whole database or should not be reflected at all. Consistency means this property ensures that the data remain consistent before and after a transaction in a database. Isolation, this property ensures that all the transaction is occurring independently of the others. This implies that the state of the ongoing transaction does not affect the state of the another program. Durability, this property ensures that will change the case failure, restart, and is present the same state it was before the system failure or state. Another question is, are null value in a database that same as that of a blank space or zero? The answer is no. A null value is very different from that of zero and blank space. It is represent a value that is a sign unknown, unavailable, or not applicable as compared to blank space, which represent a character, and zero represent a number. So for example, null value is number of courses taken by a student, represent that its value is unknown, whereas zero in it means that his student has not taken any course. Another question is, what is data warehouse? Warehouse, very important question. Data warehouse, there are some reports, means data source 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 number of n's, okay, and you can data stores, and you can send through like data mining, report, OLTP analysis, records, student records, employee records, so many records, doctor records. Okay, so basically the definition is the process of collecting, extracting, transforming, and loading data from multiple sources and storing them in one database is known as data warehouse. Got it? A data warehouse can be considered as a central repository where data flow from transactional system and other relation database, and it is used for data analytics. A data warehouse comprised a wide variety of an organization historical data that support the decision making process in an organization. Right? Got it? Okay. Another question is, move to the another question. So explain different level of data abstraction in a DBMS. Means physical layer, physical level, logical layers, few layers, only 3 layers. Okay, 3 layers, yeah, external layers. So first some explain physical layers. There are 3 layers: data abstraction, physical layer, logical layer, and few layer are external layers. So is a physical layer lowest level, and it is managed by the DBMS. This level consists of data storing, description, and the detail of this level are typically hidden from system admin, developer, and user. But logical layer are, you can call logical layer or conceptual layer. It is the level on which developer and system admin work, and it is determine what data is stored in the database and what is the relationship between the data point. called logical. View means it is the label that describe only a part of the database and hide the details of the table schema, and it is physical layer storage from the user. The result of query is an example of view level data abstraction. A view is the virtual table created by the selecting field from one or more table present in a database. Another question is, what is meant by an entity relationship model? Explain the term entity type and entity set in a DBMS. So suppose student study college, so many ID like student ID, student name, student address. In a college ID and college name. So entity means entity relationship model is a grammatically approach to the database design where real world objects are represented as a entity and relationship between them and maintained. So an entity is defined as a real world object having attributes that present characteristics of that particular object, right? For example, a student, as an employee, a teacher present in an entity. So in an entity type means entity type is defined as a collection of entities that have the same attribute. One or more related tables in a database represent an entity type. Entity type or attribute can be understood as a characteristics which uniquely identify the entity. For example, student represent as entity that have attributes such as student ID, student name, college ID, college name, but in an entity set. Another point is entity set means an entity set can be defined as a set of all the entity present in a specific entity type in a database. For example, a set of all the student, employee, teacher are present in an entity set. So explain different type of relationship among the table in a DBMS. So there are some tables means one-to-one relationship, one-to-many relationship, many-to-many relationship, self-representing the relationship. So basically I am explain one person connect to the one person has one passport, means one-to-one relationship. One-to-many relationship means the customer has n number of accounts, means one customer means suppose I have multiple accounts. So my name is Ashu. I am only one person, but I have holding the multiple accounts called one-to-many relationship, right? And many-to-many relationship means many-to-many relationship means suppose multiple customers, m number of customers means Ashu, Santosh, Priya, Preeti buy n number of product. Suppose there are 3 to 4 friends, okay, go to in a mall and multiple 3 to 4 friends are buying multiple products in a shopping mall, means jeans, pant, shirt, book. So it's called many-to-many relationship, right? And self relationship means suppose order saturated to the self reference, means customer ID, customer name, age, mobile numbers, order name, customer product, this type of means a relationship is applied when a particular row in table, okay, associated with the same table. So just I'm explain. I think I have already processed not a more enough. I think enough, right? Okay, move to the another question. Another question is difference between intention and extension in a database, right? So intention are popularly known as the data schema is used to define the description of the database, and it is specified during the design of the database and mostly rename unchanged. But extension means the extension, on the other hand, it is the measure of the number of tuples present in the database at any given point in the time. The extension of a database is also referred to as the snapshot of the database, and it is value keep changing and as and when the tuples are created, updated, or destroyed in a database. Explain different type of normalization form in a database, right? So in a normal form there are 4 types, means first normal form, first NF, second NF, and third NF, and fourth is BCNF. Suppose I have created one table and field are created in a database, means full name, physical address, okay, movie rented, and salutation means Mr. Mrs., right? So and I have insert data, means call ashu first state plot number 4 in a address, physical address. Movie means Paris, okay, and then means storing that there are 3 to 4 movie in a database, and situation means Mr. Another insert data means Robert field, right? And the address is Gandhinagar. Movie is Forgetting the Scarce Marshal Daddy dating calls Mr. Robert, okay. And another table story, the Robert Field, Fifth Avengers, Clash of the Titanium, and research. So consider in this table as the refer example understanding different normalization forms. So first normalization form, it is known the first normal form, and it is the simplest type of normalization that you can implement in a data. A table to be in the first normal form should certified by the following condition, means every column must have a single value and should be atomic. Duplicate column from the same table should be removed. Another point is separate table should be created for each group of related data, and each row should be identified with a unique column, right? there is one NF form, means first normal form, and second normal form means you can create. Actually, I have already created tables. So in a adjustment means you can create separate one normal form, right? Second 2NF, it is means second normal form. It is known as the second normal form. A table to be in a second normal form should certify the following condition, means the table should be in first normal form. First normal form certified all the conditions, right? And even non-prime attribute of the table should be fully functionally depend on the primary key. Either every non-key attribute should be depend on the primary key in such a way that if any key elements is deleted, then even the non-key elements will be saved in the database. Means create the primary key, means Mr., Mrs. create in another membership ID, and also membership ID means full name, John, Robert, Ashu, right? So in breaking the table one into two tables, different tables, to move to the second normal form. Third normal form is known as the third normal form. A table to be in a it is second normal form should be certified the following condition. When the table should be in a 2NF, either certified all the condition of 2NF. There is no transitive functional dependency of one attribute on any attribute in the same table. Means you can also say salutation ID means 1 2 means salutation means Mr. and Mrs. Doctor, right? 1 2 3 1 2 3 difference the movies. BCNF standard for bias coded normal form, and it is an advanced form of the 3NF. It is also referred to as a 5.5NF for the same reason. A table to be in a BCNF normal form should certify the following condition, means the table should be in a third NF, either certified all the condition of 2NF for every functional dependency of any attribute A and B. A to be should be the super key of the table. It simply simplified that A can't be in a non-prime attribute if B in a prime attribute. Okay. So explain different type of key in a database: candidate key, super key, primary key, unique key, alter key, foreign key, composite key. So one by one there are 7 type of key in database. Means I have just few minutes before, means candidate key. So see the pictures on a screen. The condition. So first candidate key, as I am explained. So candidate key represents a set of property that can uniquely identify a table. Each table may have multiple candidate key. One key amongst all the candidate key can be chosen as a primary key. In the below example, since suppose student ID, right, and first name can be considered as a candidate key since they can uniquely identify every tuples. Second is the super key. Super key define a set of attributes that can be uniquely identify a tuple candidate key, and primary key are subset of the super key. In other words, the super key is either a superset. Superset means, right, superset. And another point is primary key. The primary key define a set of attributes that are used to uniquely identify every tuple in tuples. For example, student ID, first name, student ID and first name are candidate key, and any one of them can be chosen as a primary key in the given example. Means primary key means primary key for the student tables. Another point, unique key. The unique key is similar to the primary key except that primary key could not allow null value in the column, but unique key allow them. So essentially unique key are a primary key with a null value. Alternate key means all the candidate key which are not chosen as a primary key are considered as alternate key, right? For example, first name, last name are alternate key in the database. Foreign key. The foreign key defined as attribute that can only take the value present in one table common to the attribute present in another table. For example, course ID from the student table in a foreign key to the course table, as both the table contain the course ID as one of their attribute. Composite key means a composite key refers to a combination of two or more columns that can uniquely identify each tuple in a table. For example, student ID, first name can be grouped to the uniquely identify each table in the table name. Right. Move to the another question. Another question is, what is a different type of indexes? Clustered index, non-clustered index. There are two type of index. So clustered index means it is the index at the which data is physically stored in the disk. Therefore, only one clustered index can be created to a database tables. Non-clustered index means it does not define a physical data, but it is defined a logically ordering. Means typically V tree and V plus tree are created for this purpose. Another question is, what is a buffer manager? So buffer manager manages to collect the data from disk storage to the main memory and deciding what data to be in cache memory for faster processing. Another question is, how can you define the degree of relations? So the degree of a relation is defined as the number of attributes in the relation schema. Another question is, can you explain the difference between 4NF and 5NF? In a 4NF, it should certify the 3NF and it should not contain two or more views about an entity. In the 5NF, we can reconstruct the information from small pieces of content so that they can be maintained with the maximum consistency. Another question is, one of the biggest challenges faced by the system architects in delivering maximum throughput so that millions of transactions can be executed per second. So how will you handle the challenges with care? Justify your answer based on your previous work experience. So basically, very most important question means whenever you are working on big data problems, it should be handled with the care. Let us understand the concept with the three technical terms: data ingestion, transformation, storage, and analytics. So data ingestion use technology like Apache Kafka. I have already created a video based on Apache Kafka, so please go to the description box and watch this video and streamline the data across different targets gracefully. The second term is transformation, where data is reconstructed and transformed into a meaningful real-time solutions. Right? The last term is storage and analytics, where the NoSQL database can be utilized to manage all the data issues and work on consistency problems. Eventually, one when you are done with it. These three features can give you more flexibility, high throughput, and low latency benefits in. Okay, we should replace the traditional batch-oriented approach with a modern stream solution. Move to another question. Another question is explain the terms records, field, and table in a term of database. Records means refer to the collection of value of a specific entity. Field means this field area without records the reserve the specific data. Table means collection of records but specific type. Move to another question. Another question means what are the all type of user defined function? There are three type of user defined function means a scalar function, inline table value function, multi-statement valued function. What is online transaction processing OLTP? OLTP is used to manage a transaction based application. It is used for data entity, data retrieval and data processing. It makes data management efficient. The purpose of all the OLTP system is server real-time transaction. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe this video. Thank you so much.